She was born into music royalty, but her story was never going to be typical. The daughter of the legendary Jenni Rivera, Chiquis grew up under a spotlight she never asked for and a pressure most couldn't imagine. But when life threw its hardest punches,
I love you guys.
She didn't break. She built. Turning heartbreak into hits.
Y el Latin Grammy es para Diamantés, Chiquis.
Pain into power.
Y siempre, gracias a Dios. Señor, gracias por darme la fortaleza en esos momentos oscuros donde tú solamente sabes. Thank you, God, you're so good.
And silence into a voice that speaks for a new generation of Latinos everywhere. Singer, author, entrepreneur, fighter, Chiquis has carved her own lane, proving she's not just Jenni's daughter, she's her own damn legend in the making. And for the first time, she's sitting down to tell it all. Unfiltered, unapologetic. This is One-on-One with Andro Mammo, and this is the conversation you've been waiting for.
I think it's one of the best interviews I've ever had.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so proud of you. This is so crazy.
This is a blessing in itself, but 10 years ago, we first met. And I think if you would have told that kid, hey, 10 years down the line, you're going to have your own show, you're going to have your own studio, and she's going to be sitting here with you.
Mm-hmm. But I saw it when I met you. I knew it. I was like, he has something special.
Thank you.
This guy, you were a boy then. Like, this boy, you're still young. But I'm like, he has something. And I told you, I was like, you're going places. So
yeah, no, I mean, truthfully, it's a memory that I've never forgotten about. And it's a memory that I don't think I'll ever forget about. That was such a funny day, though, just because I don't know if you remember this, but we did this interview, and then halfway through, my mom raises her hand and she's like, I'm sorry, but it wasn't recording. And I'll never forget. I remember, like, you were one of my first interviews, period. And I got so embarrassed or nervous or whatever. And you were just kind of like, no, it's okay. We'll do it again. And I'll never forget that, though, just because that's the person that I've come to know over the last 10 years, Janney.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This conversation, I really want to highlight the person that I know. Not Chiquis, but Janney.
Thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
Janney, people ask me, what is the difference? Well, Chiquis is the performer, is the... I don't know. And we can talk about it. You just ask me questions and I'll sit here and I'll answer whatever you want. But yes, Janney is definitely the hippie. That is what 2025 I'm focusing on. Janney. I feel like I've forgotten about her a little bit.
I love Janney, by the way.
Thank you. I love her too. She's cool.
Janae's amazing. But let's talk about that. So 10 years.
Yeah.
Since our first conversation in 2015, what would you say has been the biggest change thus far?
It's a great question. I'd probably have to say how I stepped into my own power. For a long time, I was doing what people wanted me to do, what I should do, and not what I'm meant to do. Mm-hmm. Definitely a different person from then. Yeah. I mean, my essence has always been the same, but I think I let people pull me in different directions. And now I'm like, wait a second, it's okay to say no. I know the power in that small little word. Mm-hmm. 2 letters, the power of it now. And it's okay to say no. And before I was a people pleaser. Then I was a people pleaser. Mm-hmm. I was still trying to find my way, but I'm definitely a woman now, for sure.
An amazing woman. So let's break it down. So I want to know, how did the environment that you grew up in early on help shape the person that you are today, but also the art that you create today?
I definitely would have to say that it shaped me quite a bit. I mean, having the mother that I had and that I still have, how strict she was. I feel like she was the perfect mother for me. She wasn't a perfect mother, but she was a perfect mother for me. And being born in the family that I'm born in, whether I like some of them or not, because, I'm very truthful, I love them and I love what they did and what they taught us, hard work and the music. And if it wasn't for my grandparents and my entire family, like I wouldn't have this love and passion for music the way that I do. And now the difference is now I know what I want and where I want to go with it, and I can express it in a different way. But I'm definitely grateful. I'm grateful because it shaped me. My mom, the experiences, everything that I went through, even the things that made me sad, even the things that I thought I would never get over. Now I could say everything does, and it sounds cliche, but everything does happen for a reason.
It's beautiful when you really reflect and you're able to see it from a different perspective, especially at this stage in our lives. I feel like every one of those experiences led us both here, and that's beautiful.
I agree. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So when was the first time that you realized you were creative?
Early on, I wasn't sure if it was going to be music where I was going to be able to express my creativity, but I was the girl that made purses out of jeans. I think it was, I want to say like at 10 or 11 years old. Like I was a businesswoman already. Like I would buy candies and chips and stuff and then sell them at school for a little bit more and out of my backpack. And then from there, I started grabbing, I don't know how I messed up my mom's microwave, but I made keychains. I put the, after I ate the chips, the little baggies that were used to be 25 cents back then, I'd put them in the microwave and then they'd shrink up and then I'd make them into little keychains. So I was like, okay, I don't know where I got that idea from, but I messed up a couple microwaves. My mom wanted to kill me. So it's something that's been within me. And what's crazy is because I've been on the hustle and bustle, I kind of forgot that side of myself for the past, 7-8 years. I was doing it in music, but very creative with my hands. I like to make things. I like to make baskets. So it's something that has always, I think, been a part of me, but it really started flourishing like when I was 10 or 11 years old. Yeah.
And at 10 or 11, was that when you first realized you had a passion for being an entrepreneur?
Yes, for sure. I always say this, my first love was business. And I thank God for that because my mom, that's something she embedded in me. And she was like, okay, school's important, but it's not that important. You can work and you can go to school if that's what you want, but she never forced it on me. Now I'm like, okay, I kind of wish I would have gone to college, to be honest, but definitely my mom was a businesswoman. And I think seeing her and like seeing everything that she did, and she was just so good at it. It's something that came natural. I think I inherited that. So yeah, for sure. That's when I knew I was like, there's something here. I like making money, Yeah. No, it's a fun feeling. Yeah, it feels good. You feel like, wow, you bought this for one price and you could sell it for this. And it's, that's when I'm like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah, it's rewarding. And I want to know, so your mom, such a incredible legend, but such a business savvy person. And I feel like that's one of the things that I hear a lot about her, but I don't hear too much about that side of her. And I want to know, since you were her right hand growing up, you helped her establish businesses, you helped her really build up the businesses into what they are today. Yeah, for sure. What were some of the biggest lessons that you learned from your mom in the business world? Ooh, definitely not to be afraid of taking risks. I think in order to make money, you need to be willing to take risks. And that's one thing I saw with my mom. She was very fearless. And you're right, a lot of people don't know how intelligent my mother was. She was valedictorian. She was a straight A student. Her penmanship was beautiful. Like, she was very, very, a very smart woman. And so I think she was my school. That was my college, actually. So she taught me all of it. But she definitely taught me to take risks, to not be afraid of failing, as weird as that sounds, because my first business wasn't successful, but that taught me a lot. And it was hard to let go and close that business down. But because I had her voice, like, it's okay, you can start over. Because that's how it is. You got to just try different things until something sticks. And you have to be okay with that. Now, in anything that I do, it's important that there's passion behind it, that there's a message in anything, whether it be my candles, whether it be
my skincare, my music, of course, my books, I want there to be an inspiring message behind it, not just to sell something. Because that passion is what moves me. So, and she was the same way. We're Cancers, so we're very passionate women.
Oh my God, I love that you said that because I'm also very passionate. All of this is passion. And I'm so happy that you mentioned the aspect about risk because I really do believe that there is no reward without risk.
Yeah.
And even the studio, one of the biggest risks that I've taken. But I want to know, early on, what was one of the biggest risks that you took that maybe your mom was like, what are you doing? But it ended up working out better than you expected.
Well, the biggest thing was my salon, right? The one that what I just mentioned, my first business. Name. Yeah, Blow Me Dry. And she you know, she was, it was como con albur. How do you say that in English? Like kind of, anyway, we'll talk about that later. But it was called Blow Me Dry. It was a blow dry bar, and she didn't agree with me having it. She wanted me to open it up, but she said, I don't agree with you opening it up where you want to open it, which was Encino. She said, there aren't really any Latinos there. Like, use your mom's name. I've worked so hard. Go where the Latinos are. But I wanted so bad to show her, this is something I'm going to do myself, you know, and I wanted to be successful because of what I bring to the table, you know, what I offer, not necessarily because you're my mom. So she was very proud. I just wanted her to be proud. And I had gotten my first paycheck from Chiquis and Roxy, the first reality. And I was like saving up the first reality show I did. And I'm very proud. The thing is that a few months after, she passed away. So in order for business to like really be successful, you need to be there. And I wasn't present emotionally, physically, in any way. I was completely gone. So that's why it didn't work. I think it would have worked if things were different, you know, but it's one that didn't work because you asked me for one that did work. But that's the first one that I can think of because she was like very like, okay, I don't know about this. I don't know if it's in the right location, but I did it. And I always wonder, I'm like, if she would have been here, would it have been more successful? Because I had to focus on my siblings. You know, I had no other choice. They needed me. And I don't regret it. But then I did have to just cut my losses and just say, you know, stop the bleeding. I got to stop this already.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing that Blow Me Dry taught you?
The importance of being present in every way for your businesses. You know, how they say, si tienes tienda, que la tienda, sino que la venda. You know, you have to be there. You have to be present. You have to be involved. And I wasn't. And it definitely taught me that it's okay to try something. And if it doesn't work, you can walk away with your head held high and try something different. Yeah. You know, and it taught me quite a bit.
Being an entrepreneur, I think in itself is a very difficult thing. And it's very overlooked. There's a lot of people that just think I'm just going to open up a business. But no, it's something that you have to nurture and you have to build.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious. So growing up, I would watch a lot of the business savvy Janney through I Love Jenni.
Yeah.
So did it add pressure to you to enter the business world with these cameras in your face and like everybody knowing what you're doing in the business world? Or was it more something that you kind of learned to embrace and be grateful for down the line?
Yeah, definitely learned to embrace it. I did.
Yeah, because I mean, even with myself, like building out the business is really hard. So I can't even imagine doing that in front of thousands of people and cameras and producers and all of that stuff.
You know why I think also I didn't think about it so much? Because I didn't know what I was getting myself into in a way that I did it without thinking, kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I was just doing what I do and what I did for my mom on a daily basis. And we were doing that for so long. Like we started the skincare and the makeup line and then the jeans and then the cameras came. So for me, it wasn't like it was something that I was starting with the cameras. So I was just very in tune with the business already. Later on, once you start seeing people's comments and what social media has done, then that kind of gets in your head if you let it seep in too deep. But then I was just doing my thing, and the cameras were just a fly on the wall in a way. Like we had to pretend like they didn't exist. We just had to go about business like regularly.
At this point in your life, do you ever look back at those moments on like I Love Jenni, for example, and seeing you find your footing?
I do, and I'm very grateful. I think there were times where it was a lot of hard work, the reality show, and we did it for 10 years, you know, myself altogether. And I'm very grateful, especially with I Love Jenni, because I have those videos and that footage to look back on, and I can hear my mom and feel her. And maybe when we were in the thick of it during that time, it was a lot. Sometimes you didn't want the cameras in your face. Sometimes, now I see the beauty in it, and I'm very grateful because I did learn a lot about myself. And that's when I think I started learning more about Janney and Chiquis and learning to separate the two in a way. So I did learn a lot, but it was tough. There were tough times for sure.
Yeah. What's the biggest difference and the biggest similarity being an entrepreneur and then being an artist?
For sure, I feel like they go hand in hand. I think it is very important for me anyway to have that business mindset and also be a creative. And I'm glad that I started my career a little later in life because I was able to use my business savvy mind in the music to make sure that I don't get screwed over. And even then, you run the risk. So I think definitely knowing business and knowing how to protect yourself and reading contracts and informing yourself is huge with music. Because if you're just, a lot of creatives, what we do is like, we're just so in a way in the clouds that we don't want to worry about all that stuff, but you need to be involved in everything that you do because there are sharks in the world. And that's just the truth of it in every industry. So you have to make sure that you protect yourself and you know how to protect yourself. So I would say more than anything, I feel like one thing helped the other quite a bit.
And now to transition to the music world.
Yes.
So I want to know, how would you say that your relationship with music has evolved over the course of your life?
Music has been freaking my therapy. It's carried me through. It's taken me back. It's brought me back from sad places. It's been since I was little. I think it's definitely been a part of my life. Now the difference is that I'm actually writing music. I'm more inspired now more than ever to write different music. I'm connected in a different way. And that's why I took a little bit of a break this year because I needed to fall in love again and find the passion because you get so caught in the rat race of life and working and it becomes more of a job. And I'm like, wait, this is my passion and this is my art. And it's okay to step back and it's all about the momentum, keep the momentum every month. And I'm like, wait, where's the beauty? Where's the substance of it? If you're just pushing things out like a freaking machine. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's not, yes, it's about numbers. Of course you want to stream. That's important. But for me is really connecting with my music. So even in the past 6 months, it's changed where I'm like, wait, I want to write something different. I want a different sound. Now the business part of it, now Janney's coming back into the mix where it's like, okay, you guys have been running with Chiquis and like she does whatever you guys want, but wait a second, I'm going to take control again. So it definitely has changed a lot. It's changed from when I was younger to obviously just enjoying music and dancing and enjoying what it makes me feel. Now it's how can I make people feel what I feel through it? Yeah. You get me?
No, that's beautiful. That's so cool. Speaking about falling in love with it again, I think that's something that's so important just because, again, a lot of the time we'll just be on autopilot and then we'll forget to really realize, no, this is what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
So for me, like when I was at iHeart, for example, I'll never forget them telling me like, hey, while you're here, you can't interview. I was like, whoa, like,
oh, whoa.
I was like, that's me, but I didn't go to college. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. So of course I was there. I didn't interview, but once I left, I was like, no, I need to find that person again. I need to find that love and fall in love with it again. And when I did, I remember I had a conversation with you because it was about finding purpose. And I think it was something like you told me, when you know your purpose, it's something that is going to lead you forward. I believe the interviews are my purpose.
Yeah, I agree. You're very good at it.
Thank you.
You're very good. You're connected. You feel like what I love is that a lot of people interview and I feel like they're not really listening, and the feedback that you give is great. So I'm your fan. I'm here and I support you 100. So
stop. Oh, that means the world. No, but like, was falling back in love with it something that was maybe scary? Like maybe you wouldn't fall in love with it in the way that you once were in love with it.
It's so different. And I think because we are evolving creatures, like you evolve, I'm so grateful for the season that I had with the music that I was singing and doing. And I'm not saying I'm never going to sing that type of music. Like I love all types of music, but my soul, something is shifting within me. So it was important. I'm like, okay, this is becoming more of a job, more of an obligation. And if I am not as excited as I used to be to get on that stage or do the interview or do that, there's something going on. So let me step back and take a break, you know? And a lot of people weren't happy about it, but that's where that important little word of no and saying yes to yourself, it's so essential, especially in your craft, because if you don't do that and you don't follow your heart, you're going to crash and burn, you know? And that happened to me in 2018. And I felt like I was going there again. And last year was amazing and successful. And we worked a lot. Julio knows, our photographer, our videographer over here. He knows it was tough. It was beautiful, but it was a lot. So that's where I'm like, wait, I know that I'm meant to do this, but maybe I'm meant to do it a little differently. And that's okay.
Yeah. No, but on that, so saying no, it's hard sometimes.
It is.
There's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable to say no. When did you feel comfortable with your own voice, confident in what you bring to the table?
I'll be honest, it's still hard sometimes to say no to certain people, especially my siblings, for instance, because I love them so much. But even then, I'm learning how to say no. I guess I do a heart check. I'm like, okay, is this really something I want? Is this going to make me happy, or am I doing it just to make them happy? Once I ask myself that question, I'm like, okay, it's all in how you deliver your message. You know, more than anything, it's kind of, hey, this doesn't feel comfortable. I don't have peace with this. And that's it. You know, you don't have to be mean about it or anything. Right. I think I've been really finding my voice for the past 10 years. It's changed. And I think it happened with Abeja Reina, my album Abeja Reina, where I felt empowered. I felt, I don't even know how and when it kicked in, but I just felt different. I felt this inner confidence of, this is what I'm meant to do. This is what God wants me to do. And I'm going to do it despite what anyone says.
Give me chills. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. But no, honestly. And it's my freaking, that's my truth. And I think about that. That just happened when? That was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I've always been a very confident woman, but really, really knowing myself at the core, it didn't happen until 3 years ago.
Yeah. No, that's so important, knowing yourself. But Abeja Reina.
Yes.
Okay. I'm so glad that you brought it up, because that was one thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So Abeja Reina, I feel like, as opposed to other albums you've put out, you really demonstrated a lot of your vulnerability.
Yes.
And we live in a world where there's a lot of people that will shy away from putting their real selves out there. They'll shy away from the vulnerability. They don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
I want to know, for you, why was it so important to demonstrate that side of yourself in the album?
Because I have received a lot of criticism and adversity. I've faced a lot of adversity. And I felt with that album, it was my chance to let people in on my deepest thoughts, my heart, what my heart was really feeling and what I had gone through to get to that point. And that's when I accepted to be unapologetically myself, where I was like, this is who I am, like it or not, leave it or take it or leave it, you know, sort of thing. So it was important. It was so important to just also explain why I was singing each song and the meaning behind it. It wasn't just a song, because of course people like to dissect the songs and, oh, this is for this person. I'm like, no, let me explain it. And that's where it came, where it was kind of like a diary to myself, but for the world.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I feel like I told John, I was like, it seems like it's a love letter to Janae.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. I'm like, I'm honoring myself through this. And what better than to do it through my art? And it's my album, and who's going to tell me no, you know? And if it resonates with someone, then great. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that. Before I was like, I want music that people want to listen to. I want it to trend. I want it to be, you know, mainstream. All that has gone out the window completely for me, especially now.
No, I heard, okay, so off topic, but I was listening to an interview from Kiss, and Paul Stanley of Kiss said, if you're making music for somebody other than yourself, it's going to fail.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, the only person that you really need to satisfy is yourself.
Yep. Because I always say this, what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Yeah.
So if I can't defend this song on stage, if there's not a reason behind it for me, I'm not going to sing it the same. If I'm just doing it for other people, how is that supposed to work? That's not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
So now more than ever, I'm like, I'm going to sing. What's coming is just so different. It's crazy.
Excited.
It's so crazy. Some people are going to love it. Some people aren't. And I'm okay with that.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah. It's pretty freaking cool. I was writing songs yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. I can't wait to find the sound.
So songwriting, has that been always something that's come naturally to you, or has that been something that you've kind of had to learn over time?
I had to learn it. I love quotes. I write quotes. I have so many of them. I started off on Twitter. I have to find all these quotes, but I have them in notes. And then I started from quotes because I've always liked to write. It went to poems. And then I learned the structure of writing a song because I didn't. When I stepped into this, I'm like, how do I even do this? Because melodies are starting to come to me barely. And I have to be on medicine, and I'm like, I get super inspired and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then melodies start coming. But with writing, it took a long time. Now I feel confident enough to really write a song by myself. I have a lot of co-writers on my songs, and that's okay because 2 minds, 3 minds are better than one in a room, especially when you're starting.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with saying when I started this, I didn't know. I just wrote poems. I'm like, how do I make this into a song? Or the difficulty for me was writing songs in English and then translating them to Spanish because they don't sound the same. That was very hard for me.
Yeah.
But with time, it's been better.
It's a beautiful evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to speak about the evolution, so how do you approach music today at this stage of your career versus the way that you approached music at the start of your career?
So at the start of my career, it was very led by management and someone that I trusted who really did help me and help me step into my own sound. So I'm very grateful for my team. So it was more do this and do that, and I just did it. Now I'm involved in everything. I need to have a concept for an album. I have the name. Sometimes it comes in, this is the name of the album, or this is the name of a song, and then the whole concept comes together. Now it just depends. It could just be a phrase. It could be like my God Morning. Yesterday was a song I was writing, the God Morning song. And it could be that. So it's changed a lot. Now it's very important for me to be involved in everything. Like it needs to have my stamp of approval. It has to have my touch because then I feel like it's not really me. It's more of like the record label or the management, which is good. But for me, I want people to know that my essence is in everything. Yeah.
And okay, so for example, when you entered the scene with Paloma Blanca in 2014, you made such an impact because that's such a powerful message to enter the scene with.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, at this stage in your life, looking back at Paloma Blanca, how does that make you feel?
I love Paloma Blanca now. Yeah. For a long time, I didn't because it was a love letter to my mom and it came out before it was supposed to. And someone was trying to do something good, but then I feel like it kind of, in that moment, it backfired. But now looking back, it didn't. It all happened the way it was meant to happen. And I'm happy with how everything unraveled and everything turned out in my career. So now I re-recorded Paloma Blanca and I actually want to re-record it again for the 3rd time. But I love it. It was a song to my mom, and what better than to start my career with a song for my mom, as a response to the last song that she sang for me at her last concerts.
That's so important. And I'll never forget it. Like when I listened to it, obviously knowing about the story and like the concert, like Paloma Negra singing that to you. And then that response, like it was just so powerful. And I remember when it came out talking to Johnny about it and just, again, seeing the evolution from that person to who you are now, 2 Grammys.
So different. Yeah. 3 Grammys.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
No, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
I feel so honored to be part of many of these moments that you've had.
You have.
Like, for example, the first time you won the Latin Grammy, I was there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, in my house. Where
things that I never forget. Like, but it was one of those moments where it was people that truly, I know, love Chiquis.
Thank you.
And it was just a room, like, I'll never forget it. Like, when they said your name, do you remember? Like,
Yeah.
we all just like
was like-
screamed, and I'll never forget it too because it was so funny. Like, if you find the video, you were like, "Quiet down, everybody!" Like, we didn't hear the name at first.
Yeah, we
you
didn't.
remember that?
No,
Like,
yeah.
it was such a moment.
Mucha suerte a los nominados. Thank you.
Mejor álbum de música.
Playlist.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, was it, wait. It was that type of thing where it's like, wait, am I dreaming? It felt so surreal. It was such an amazing, I'm so glad that I had the red carpet. I said, okay, we're in pandemic, but I'm going to make this a freaking party.
Yeah. What would 2014 Janney say about everything that has happened for her career thus far?
Oh my goodness. 2014 Janney is definitely proud because there were so many times that I wanted to give up, and I felt like, no, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe my mom was right, because my mom wanted to support me with my music, but she says it's a difficult career for women. So the word for me would be very proud. I'm very proud of you. You did not let up. You kept going. No te dice por vencida. And you got this. Like, you got this. I'm such a different person. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, in the hard times, what would you say has truly kept you going?
It's changed throughout the years. I think for a very long time, especially in the beginning of my career, my siblings, all of them, but mainly the two youngest ones, which are, Johnny and Janica, that now are grown, but they kept me alive. I'm like, they're my superheroes for sure. And then, be quiet, Kim. Can you tell her? Okay.
We're gonna keep this in, by the way. We love Kim. Kim is so funny.
Kim is my friend and assistant, but she's on the phone handling business. Anywho, so for sure in the beginning, my siblings, they kept me going. And of course, the people that supported me from the very beginning, I still have boss bees that were there from the very beginning. And I'm so grateful. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then now it's changed. Now I could tell you today it's my husband. Today I finally found a man that loves me the way I deserve.
I love Emilio.
I love him. He's such a great guy. He was on your podcast as well. So it's changed. And of course, God and my faith. That has been...
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought that up too. Because truthfully, I mean, we could pull that curtain a little bit. You have been somebody that really has helped me strengthen my relationship with God tremendously.
That makes me happy. I'm
so
glad.
thank you so much.
That's my mission. That's part of my mission.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful. I'm so happy that I was able to do that because I'm not shy about mentioning God in anything that I do or my faith. And I feel like that's what I'm meant to do. It's my purpose. Part of my purpose is to bring light to the world. So that makes me really happy. But for sure, my faith has kept me through. God has never... I wrote a tweet once. I could be motherless and fatherless, but I'm never going to be godless. And I'm like, yeah. And that's when my mom was still alive then, and it was when we weren't talking. And I'm like, yeah, God, my faith. I can't even explain it, but I have this crazy amount of faith that everything is going to be okay no matter what.
When was the first time that you realized God was prevalent in your life?
I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old and I was Christian then. Because now I love and respect all religions, but my religion is love. I like to say that. And I go to all the churches, but anyhow, I was heavily in Christian church. And I remember I love the alabanzas and singing and everything. My grandma would take me to church. And we got prophetic word that day. That's when I knew. I'm like, oh my gosh, God lives in us as us. I remember looking at this guy and I was so little and he was saying things to one of my aunts. And I wrote this in my book about what was going on, the sexual abuse and stuff. And that's when I knew. I said, this is real. I've never told anyone this. God is like, he's listening to my prayers. And I remember going into the restroom and I was like praying on my knees and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I felt the presence of God like no other. I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
10,
so
actually, I'm lying,
beautiful.
12. But yes, I was young. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. No, so
Thank you.
But truthfully, thank you so much for helping me
Of course,
to where I am
anytime.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, back to the music.
Yeah.
Something that I actually love this so much is that when you release an album, the intro of the album, because the intro really does set the tone
For sure.
for the album. And I'll never forget it when I listen to them, it kind of like stops me in my tracks and I have to listen to the intro again and again just because it's so powerful.
Thank you.
And I wanted to read one of them to you.
Okay.
And I wanted you just to break down where you were coming from with this one.
Okay.
So this comes from Diamantés VVS 1. Sí soy de esas que a pesar de que la vida le tiró piedras, eligió el amor propio. Las recogió, las convirtió en diamantes y construyó su trono de luz.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Like-
I wrote that. Give me chills.
That's, I
yeah,
listened to
damn,
that
it's pretty
one.
good.
I listened to it like, for real, like 10 times.
Because I think we can all relate to that. I think we can all write a book about our life and everything that if life is tough, guys. Life is
Yes.
hard, you know? And just when I think, oh, I'm out of the woods, you know,
No.
something always happens. But that's where our faith kicks in and we're like, okay, that's why I always say, don't let go of God's hand, you know? And for that, it was exactly what I have lived from the very beginning of my career. People wanted me to give up. The enemy wanted me to give up. I was thrown so many different rocks and I decided to, instead of throwing those rocks back, I would either leave them on the floor, I'd pick them up and I'm like, I'm going to turn this into a diamond. I'm going to show people what I'm made of. And God is going to show up and show off in my life. And I'm going to, with those rocks throughout the freaking 10 years, because there were a lot, I built and I said, I'm going to sit on this pile of rocks and I'm going to, no matter what, even if people have tried to bring out the worst in me, because it's happened, you know, we're not perfect. I'm like, wait, no, I know my essence. I know what God expects of me. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to spread this light, radiate love, even if people are mean. And that was a decision. It's a decision you have to make. So that's why it was important that I wrote that. Because that's exactly how I've lived it. You know, it's real. Anything you find on my albums, anything that I've written, especially my intros, my interludes, my outros, it's all not just speaking to myself or the experiences, but also I know a lot of people can relate. And that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, no, that's, again, so beautiful. And it gave me chills. Like, I would listen to it all the time. And then just doing prep for this, it was something that I just kept listening
I got to listen
my
to it more
gosh,
often,
wow.
man. Thank you.
No, for sure. It's badass.
You just inspired me to keep writing.
It's a badass. Knowing who you are,
Yeah.
when would you say that you fully knew who you are?
Took a long time. And I think we're not ever going to fully know ourselves because we change so much. We have seasons and stuff. But I think definitely with Abeja Reina, so it's 3 years ago? And being married and the partner that I have, I've learned a different side of me, or not that there's a different side of me. I think what it is I came back to myself. And I think it you know, I'm living, now I'm really in my Janney essence. So for sure, it just depends if it's like on a personal level, career level, but for sure, I think all in all, great. Now, and I'm thinking, the Chiquis and the Janney, for so long, I separated them for the sake of staying sane. But now I feel like they can both coexist. And it's okay. I have found the balance between the two, if that makes any sense.
Was it scary for you to have them coexist early on?
Yes, it was
Why?
very scary because I was afraid of falling in a deep, dark hole. And I was afraid of that light that I knew that I was supposed to, and I'm supposed to share, that it was going to get lost in the industry, because it could be a very heavy industry. And so I felt like I was fighting a lot. So for me, I'm like, okay, if I separate Chiquis, I can just hang her up and put her in her closet, and then I could just be Janney at home. and it was fine and it helped me through. But then it gets to a point where you're like, they have to coexist. But I was scared to mix the two because I was afraid. I wasn't entirely completely confident in Chiquis yet, until Abeja Reina.
Yeah. How would you describe your musical evolution?
My musical evolution, I think more than anything, it's been that. It's been where I've been able to really just step into my own and I'm able to say no because record labels and managers and producers want a certain something because everyone's looking for that hit where I'm going to stream, I don't know, 1 million streams in an hour. I don't know what people expect, but I'm like, I just need to know. I need to know that what I'm putting out there is going to help someone. And even if it's not everyone's choice of music, I guess. So it's grown a lot throughout the years.
Yeah.
It's not so superficial. It's deeper.
And helping people. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Because, pulled back the curtain. We both live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And in 2025, Los Angeles was going through a really tough time at the beginning of the year. There were multiple fires that surrounded Los Angeles.
Yep.
And it was such a difficult time. People lost their homes. People lost their lives. Devastating time.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'll never forget is, this goes back to 10 years ago too. The person that you were at that Barnes & Noble is still the person that I know today. So when the fires started to happen in Los Angeles, I'll never forget, you invited me to go with your team to Santa Anita. And Santa Anita, for the people that are not in Los Angeles, it was pretty much like, I guess, the main epicenter for the fires. So the relief. So if your house got burnt down, unfortunately, you'd be at Santa Anita and we'd be providing food and stuff. You invited me to be there with you and your team, and we gave back merch and like food and just resources. And I'll never forget, that day was a day I'll never forget. But then about a month later, not even Los Angeles, but the United States was going through a difficult time, a scary time.
Yeah.
And there were so many people across the United States that were scared and they didn't know what their futures would hold. And you invited me again with your team to go and visit the field workers in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And that was truthfully an experience that I'll never forget, because I think when life is so busy, you kind of forget to look around and you forget to kind of like realize like there's so much happening in the world.
Yes. When we're able to look outside of ourselves, and that's one of the moving forces of the world is love, and not just love for yourself, but how you're able to spread that. And I feel that it is my responsibility as a human being with the platform that God has given me to share that. So if I want it to continue, you have to pay it forward. So for me, it's not just, I'm going to go ahead and donate. If that's your prerogative, if that's what you want to do. For me, I want to donate, but I also want to be there and help with my hands. And I have a team behind me that I can count on that can help me help people. And it makes you feel good. I mean, how it makes you realize, and it puts everything into perspective of how blessed we are. And we never know when and if it could be us one day. And are we going to have that helping hand? So we have to extend it first, and in any way that we can.
It was just beautiful to know that, like, truthfully, you're changing their lives. Like, they lost everything and you're helping them provide. What was an experience that you've had, like, throughout your whole life? Maybe it was with your mom that kind of made you realize that giving back was important.
My mom would always say that you have to share the blessings that God gives you.
Yeah.
So for me, it's something that it's important. And I've always known, because I went to church so early on, tithing and giving back and giving a certain percentage. It doesn't have to be to the church. It could be to an organization. It could be in any way that you can. So I've known that since I was very little. And that's something that I promised myself. Thank goodness I've done well. I've had hard moments, but I think it's also because I give back. And I don't do it for that reason. And I want to make that really clear.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, I don't do it for that reason. I do it because me nace. It really is something that makes me happy to make people happy and to help people.
And that's why I brought it up truthfully, because I will say this, if it wasn't for somebody like you giving me the opportunity to be there, I don't think I'd ever experience something like that, where again, your life just gets put into perspective and you just realize, no, there's a greater need to help.
For sure. Exactly. And if we come together, I mean, you saw how people didn't even know each other. And I loved seeing how people were helping.
That was, again, I think about that all the time.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. So awesome.
I want to say there was probably like thousands of people there.
Yeah.
But like many. With the common goal of helping each other. That's so
and the diversity.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was so awesome. It was so great. And I'm like, I just wanted to be Janney. And you saw me. I had my hair. My hair was a mess, and I had no makeup on. And I was like, I don't care. I'm here to work. I'm not here to look cute. You know.
I was giving out burritos.
Yeah, we were giving out
burritos.
It was so nice. It was awesome.
No, but and then the day that we went to the fields, like I didn't realize how much work goes into like picking these fruit and these vegetables and all of these things. Again, like I would drive by those fields. Yeah, you know, driving to different places, but you would never kind of put yourself in the shoes of the people that are actually there. And on top of that, the day that we went there, it was raining.
It was.
And it was so cold. And like these men and women were out there and
they are the people that put food on our table. And like they say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And they're out there, rain or shine. They were out there when the fires were happening, and there are pictures and videos where they are covered in smoke.
Devastating.
And I'm like, I still want to do more with the field workers. And a lot of them are afraid now because of what's going on in the country. And I'll save that for another podcast because I have a lot to say about that. But I'm like, in any way that I can help, if I can make them, like, again, smile. I sang for them that day. I took them burritos. We took them burritos. We took them information because knowledge is power. Yep. So, and it was nice to have an evening with them and just because they were so afraid, especially then, to come out and to have fun. And like things are changing right now. So,
I mean, on their behalf, obviously, I would like to say thank you so much for doing that for them. But also, thank you
for coming.
From my end, like, again, that was an experience that I think changed my perspective and I think even my life, because I think, again, being in the industry that we're in, it's an industry that is so fast paced.
Yep.
And things get lost in the shuffle. And I've talked to you about it, but again, I'm striving to, for example, with the show is meant to help people. It's meant to inspire people. So if I'm able to have conversations that are helping somebody feel seen,
yes,
I'm doing my job. I'm happy.
Absolutely. You're fulfilling your purpose. I love that for you.
So but again, I didn't get here without you. So thank you.
Of course, it is my pleasure, and I'm going to be here as long as I can and anytime. And I'm very happy for you. You got it going on, boy.
Thank you.
I'm like, dang, I'm gonna learn a few things from you.
We started at the back of a freaking Barnes and Noble, and here we are, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. How old are you now?
23.
Oh, I met you when you were a baby.
Yeah.
You're still a baby.
No, but I mean,
Damn.
Again, I'm not trying to make it all sappy, but again, if it wasn't for you giving me that interview early on, I don't think my career would turn out the way that it has.
And you've interviewed pretty cool people, James. Like I was watching. You should be very proud of yourself. Are you proud of yourself?
To be honest, at this point, yeah.
Good.
Years ago, it was hard for me to really smell the roses. But I think it's really cool being at the place that I am because, again, main goal, serve God.
Yep.
Help people. Let's inspire people. I'm not in it for any crazy reasons.
Yes.
Like I get fulfilled knowing somebody is being seen.
I love that. Yep.
So I'm happy.
That's great. And all the rest will come with that. When it's your purpose is in the right place, all the rest will come.
No, I mean, truthfully, it's people I feel like that are actively going against the grain, that are actively changing the world. And it's not just saying it, it's actually
putting
the action. Which
putting
is
action
important.
into it. Yeah, I agree.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of your journey, personally and professionally?
Personally and professionally. Professionally, for sure, believe it or not, winning that third Grammy was it's crazy because it happened on like the 10th, almost 11th year of my career. The first was great. The second was amazing. But the third, there was something very special because I love the number 3 and because I prayed certain prayers that one day I'll share with people that for me, it really did mark a before and an after of my career. Like so crazy. And on the next album, you'll hear why. Personally, I feel for me, that's been like the most rewarding, and obviously being able to touch so many people's hearts. And I think personally, being able to be an inspiration to people, because people know, the people that know, it hasn't been easy for me. And to be an example for my siblings, that is very rewarding. And now seeing Johnny, my sister Jackie, stepping into their music and saying, if sister did it, I can do it. Like, that makes me very happy. That's rewarding. That's very fulfilling for me. And I can step back and be an older sister and support them and show them more than anything that, here, go this way, because I already went that way and I know it doesn't work. Like, it makes me feel good to know I don't want them to suffer the way I did. So if I can prevent that, I'm going to do that, you know? And yeah, helping people and having this platform on a personal and professional level has been awesome. It's not about the glitz and glam. It's about how you can bring light to people.
We touched on it really briefly at the beginning, but I really do want to know though, like, what would you say is the biggest difference between Janney and Chiquis?
The biggest difference between Janney and Chiquis? Well, Chiquis enjoys the being on stage and getting drunk, you know, and having fun and getting other people to have fun, you know, and the diva-ness on stage, which is very different from Janney, because I'd rather be in sweats, no makeup. This is really no makeup, but Chiquis wears a little bit more makeup. You have to, you know, but for sure, Janae's a huge hippie. Is a hippie. I'd rather be home. I'd rather eat at home. I'd rather if I had my own little island and I could grow my own fruits and veggies and everything and have my own cows, and that would, oh my gosh, that's a dream come true. You know, that's, they're same person.
I can see that happening though.
Yeah,
it really could.
Prince had it. I'm like, Prince did that. I can do it.
Oh my God, I love Prince.
Rest in peace, Prince. I love him.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yes.
You're at this really cool place in your career because you're launching a children's book.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's crazy is that I'm okay with getting older. It's crazy. For a long time, I was like, I don't want to age. I'm like, you know, now I'm like, okay, I'm stepping into a different energy, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to write about children's books. I want to be a mother. Like, I want to be a wife. And I think for a long time, I was running away from all of that stuff. Now I'm like, okay, for the last 6-7 years, I knew I wanted to write a children's book, but it feels very different now. Now I feel different.
Wait, so writing the other books as opposed to the children's book.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference in the approach to writing it?
I think the other books, like keto, the keto book it's a recipe. It was fun, you know, but my two autobiographies, those were a little bit more of a chore, a little bit more of, I need you guys to hear me, the people that are interested, and not go based off what people are saying. This is my truth. This is my side of the story. And it was more of in a way, an obligation to myself and to the world in a way. And with the children's book, it's fun. It's my passion. I love children. Children are drawn to me. Like, I have a very beautiful connection with kids. And it was just, I didn't have to really think about it. I want it to be about bullying and how not to be a bully and facing adversity and believing yourself.
That's so important.
So it was just pure fun and joy.
I'm glad that you wrote it about that topic though, because I think the bullying aspect is something that's so rampant across the world.
Yeah.
And the truth is I feel like most people deal with bullying, even if they don't say they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can all relate in one way or another. And I've been dealing with it since I can remember, since I was in school. Yeah. And now with social media, it makes it a lot easier for mean people to be mean. So I think it is something we need to start and have these conversations in schools and with children in elementary. So that's something I'm very passionate about. I think we can correct it. We can for sure make it a lot less. Hopefully, that's my goal.
And with social media, I mean, how has social media really amplified the need for more authenticity in the music industry, would you say?
Well, that's the thing. I feel that with social media, as great as it is, I feel like a lot of people don't really show who they really are. And that makes me sad for them, because it's meant to like show the deepest parts of ourselves. And that's okay. If you don't want to show who you really are on social media, that's totally fine. But as far as like being an artist, I think to connect to people profoundly and for longevity purposes, you need to kind of be vulnerable and show that on social media and use that as a tool to show who you are behind the music. And that's how I use it. I'm like, I want you to know who I am in the depths of my heart.
Yeah.
So my music resonates with you. But a lot of people, it's just a facade, you know, and I
applaud you on that though, just because again, it's hard sometimes to really put your authentic self out there. Because
it
again,
is hard. Yeah.
There's so many eyes, but the fact that you've navigated and you've, like, I think that's the cornerstone. The person that I met 10 years ago is the same person that's here with me right now.
That makes me happy. Yay.
but truthfully, we meet so many people in this industry, and unfortunately, I can't say the same about a lot of people.
Neither can I. I really can't. I don't have a lot of friends in the industry.
Me neither.
I prefer it that way because I haven't met authentic people. And I'm cordial and I'm respectful, and it's work. And with that, you just got to be a little political. And I've learned with that it's not being fake. It's not sugarcoating things. It's just, that's the way it works. But in order to let you into my inner circle, to let you into my home, you have to be someone that I trust and that is very special to me. Because I want to have the same type of energy around me, what I give, you know, and it's hard to find that because so many people want to protect themselves. And I totally understand that. And it's scary to be vulnerable and it's scary to be authentic. But I think that's also comes with age, with maturity, with really knowing who you are at your core and being okay with that in every way.
Knowing thyself is so important. No, but truthfully, I applaud you. We'll wrap this up. But there may be somebody that's watching this, but they may be in certain circumstances that life unfortunately will throw you in. And maybe their dream seems impossible.
Yeah.
What advice do you give them on that pursuit to making whatever dream they have a reality, despite whatever adversities they may be faced with right now?
Always keep your heart in the right place. Keep your vision focused, your feet on the ground, be authentic to yourself, and understand that you need to know your purpose and know more than anything what you're meant to do, not what you should do. And this is something I learned later on, and it's okay. This is why I had to learn it to teach you guys. So more than anything, it's that staying authentic to yourself and being okay with saying no and try not to be a people pleaser, because I've been there and it just really takes a toll on your heart, on your mind, and in every aspect of your life. Just being unapologetically yourself, being authentic to your core and really doing things for the right reason, living with good intent. I said a whole lot, but just make sure you write it down.
Amen. Well, to wrap this up, I ask pretty much everybody the same question, but I want to give you some flowers.
Oh. Okay.
But I feel like we also live in a world where we don't give ourselves flowers for the shit that we've been through.
Yeah.
So what is something hard or difficult that you have been through in the last 6 months that you want to give yourself flowers for?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. You're going to make me cry. Oh my gosh, guys, the journey. I was just telling Emilio this morning. IVF has been very hard. And it makes me want to cry. The past 6 months have been so tough on me. Emotionally, I did not feel like myself for a long time, because you're pumping yourself with hormones, something I've never had to do. And I think that has been the most difficult thing. So I want to give myself flowers today for that, because it has not been an easy journey, but I've pulled through, and it's taught me a lot about myself and a lot about being a woman and the strength that we carry and the beautiful. I used to love being a woman. Well, not used to, but before I loved being a woman, I really love being a woman now.
Yeah.
But damn, is it hard? You know, we go through a lot, guys. We do.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you, because you still, despite what you've been through, you're still smiling. You're still happy. You're still such a beautiful, incredible person. But the inside, like, that's something that I'll never forget. The fact that you've always been the same person, and you've always been so kind and loving. And anytime that I need advice, you've always been there to provide advice. And I just can't thank you enough for today, but everything that you've done for me throughout my entire career and my life.
Thank you, Andro. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy that we were able to do this. And yeah, that's one thing that I love. That's the biggest compliment someone can give me, is that this industry has not changed me, that I'm still myself, both in Chiquis and Janney. It's still that. It's I want to be that loving person that's helping, and I love giving advice. I should have been a freaking psychologist, or not a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor. Oh, you know what? I should be a life coach.
The next book.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
No,
thank you so much.
No, but genuinely, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Chiquis, 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 not with a K. And also I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Twitter, if anyone uses Twitter anymore. But yeah, you can just find me under Chiquis.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. My name is Andro Mammo. I'll see you guys next week. Bet on you. Bye-bye.